Hello, my name is Mike Nolan. I am an engineer working in the AIDC technologies. AIDC stands for Automatic Identification and Data Collection, and this includes technologies such as barcode, radio frequency identification tagging, IoT or Internet of Things, and a few others you've probably never heard of, about yet at least. I am the president of AIS, a company I started almost 40 years ago. We have built AIDC systems for some of the biggest and some of the best companies around the world. I am also a member of the AIDC 100, a industry group recognized for their contribution to the barcode primarily industry. I'm also a member of the ARM LUC groups, helping to work through healthcare's implementation of some of the various FDA regulations and priorities that healthcare has. AIS is also the developer of SCANALYST systems. These are systems designed for compliance, barcode and RFID compliance and the verification of compliance for various industries. And for those of you that are not super technically oriented, one way of thinking about my technologies, barcode and RFID, is that it's sort of like having a pencil that never makes a mistake, ever, and produces data that can be easily read perfectly by everybody instantly. It's kind of like a promise. So I'm here today to tell you a little bit of a story. Back in the late 1980s, a group of us were talking about healthcare, and we were working in retail at the time and doing a lot of barcode work in retail. And the conclusion was that it was obvious that we could do a lot of work in healthcare and help with some of the issues that healthcare had at the time. And some of them were similar to what we have today, you know, mistakes, medication mistakes, things of that nature, some patient safety related, but inventory, control of inventory, etc. So it was obvious to AIDC people that we were bound eventually to work in healthcare. It really became inevitable. And over the last X number of years, a lot of work has gone into trying to make it finally happen. A lot of the work was in the development of additional standards required to carry the data that healthcare needed, and even the new symbologies in barcoding that were required to carry the larger amount of data that healthcare applications were asking for. And to a large extent, healthcare was finalizing what they felt that they needed. And so with all that work behind us, I can tell you that it finally is here. Try to imagine digitizing 2/3 of all the spending on patient care. That's a lot. That's a big step. And making that all available in a digital format. Well, that's what's going on. The FDA has passed 2 regulations, the UDI regulations and the DSCSA, UDI for medical devices and DSCSA for pharmaceutical. That represents 2/3 of all spending in our patient care. When these 2 regulations are in effect, when they are partially now, they'll transform that amount of spending into a digital format that will allow you to take advantage of the increased productivity. It'll help lower your operating costs, actually all through the supply chain. It'll improve the quality of care at the providers. And most importantly, it will bring healthcare into the future and establish a strong data foundation needed to continue to improve. So UDI and DSCSA are moving forward. UDI is further along. DSCSA is not for another year or so. So UDI is kind of anchored by a database that is being maintained by the FDA. Well, actually, it's being hosted by the FDA and maintained by the manufacturers. The Good ID database currently has over 3 million entries, representing 3 million products that are available for use in United States healthcare. All of the medical devices intended to be sold or used in healthcare must be in and properly labeled by September 2022, just 12 short months from now. By that time, the Good ID may be over 6 million entries. So you can see that 3 million entries this coming year will make it a pretty busy year. When that is fully available, it's expected that there'll be pretty much broad integration of that data into the variety of different applications that are currently being used in healthcare. A lot of the information may carry over to the databases that are currently referred to as item masters. In this case, the Good ID looks like this. This is one of the formats. This is a data matrix format. But you can see that by scanning that one thing, it provides 5 fields of data. In this one, it's 50 some odd characters of data. And my point here is that you're going to be scanning. You're going to be scanning mainly. You're not going to have people key entering 50 characters of data. That is not, practical. Take a look at the Access Good ID site, and you'll get an idea of how this database works. This is a very important milestone for all involved in healthcare. It provides, better controls over the 2/3 of the total spend, and it uses the best technology, best barcode technology, the range of standards that are available, and the work that's being done to create the database supporting it. And by using the barcoding, we not only know precisely, accurately, with low cost, what is happening, but what is happening right now, not last week or the week before or last month, but now. One of the deals with barcoding is that when you scan it, it becomes data that is shareable with anybody else on the net. It also comes with the elimination of a source of error. key entries are traditional source of error, and this will eliminate that in the healthcare community and build a strong foundation for the future. And there is a future in a data-centric future for healthcare in the future, with artificial intelligence taking over some of the low-level responsibilities for repetitive things, machine learning that can be embedded into different kinds of hardware, automation. Hospitals use AGVs for delivering goods into various parts of the hospital and maintaining inventories. So all of that is more available to you by building this strong data structure, data foundation with structured data, barcode structured data. So this is a very significant, a major change in healthcare, and it'll bring major opportunities to healthcare at all levels. If you think back on the retail transition, Sam Walton was a store owner, 13, 15 stores, something like that in the South, and he became Walmart with over 4,000 stores. And he credits barcoding in retail as the tool that he used to make that growth.